Wrestlers are terrible friends, just terrible friends. If there was a Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling staples, the four heads would be tiny pants, a razor blade, a ref bump, and someone stabbing their best friend in the back. In WWE, 2017 was the year that friendship died, with almost every tag team on the roster giving their mate the side eye before slotting them with a knife fashioned from a bit of old tin. Goldust betrayed Truth, Cass betrayed Enzo, Randy betrayed Bray, Mojo betrayed Zack, and two other notable friend murders that might just feature on this list. Ooh, intrigue, catch us being all saucy. The moral of this story is never ever make friends with anyone. That's why everyone here at Cultaholic is secretly packing a cheese knife and refuses to talk each other out of contractually mandated recording time. I just know that one of those shifty bellends is planning something. I can see it in their horrible little eyes. Honourable mention, the mega powers explode. Maybe it's just me, but it's hard to class what Randy Savage did as a betrayal, because if Hulk Hogan was monopolising your spotlight and creeping on your girl, you'd have done exactly the same thing. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com, and here are the top 10 most shocking betrayals in WWE history. Join us. Number 10, Kevin Owens kills friendship. KO smashes friendship like it's his job. Why do people keep being his buddy? He's proven time and time again that he has only 3 interests in life: storing nuts in his cheek for winter, being sarky on Twitter, and murdering friendship as it sleeps. I mean, fair's fair, he is very good at betrayal, and if you can make a career out of something you're good at, well done to you. Also, fair's fair, Kevin Owens was at least upfront about what an unapologetic quisling he was, betraying his best friend on literally his first night in WWE. KO debuts at NXT TakeOver R Evolution, handily beating CJ Parker. Hooray, fans thought, hooray. Then in the show's main event, after months and months of trying and failing, everyone's favourite underdog Sami Zayn finally beat Adrian Neville to become NXT champion. The first man to congratulate him was IRL best mate and Ring of Honor running buddy Kevin Owens. What a touching moment, thought the fans. KO arrives in NXT on the same night as his BFF reaches the mountaintop, and then immediately, oh you big cuddly bastard, KO shoved his friend to the floor before savagely powerbombing him onto the ring apron. Well, at least Kevin didn't make us wait for it. Number 9, unbearable betrayal. While professional evangelical tomato Brother Love may have been The Undertaker's first manager, the one true keeper of the urn is and always will be Paul Bearer. Bearer was the shrill-voiced mouthpiece of the Phenom throughout most of the dead man's early career. I mean, I'm not going to talk about Paul Bearer without doing an impression of him, am I? Oh, yeah! Oh, no, that's bad. That is bad. Oh, yes! Just like that, he would be the herald of oncoming doom, clutching the fabled urn, which apparently was the key to controlling Taker's powers. It was a weird relationship. I'm 99% sure that it's official kayfabe that Bearer porked Taker's mum, but it was a profound relationship nonetheless, and therefore, because it's wrestling, rife with betrayal. Bearer has turned on Taker a number of times, mostly with Kane, but it's the first time betrayal at SummerSlam 1996 that really stung. Undertaker was battling arch-enemy Mankind in a brutally innovative boiler room brawl that could only be won by fighting your way back to the ring and retrieving the urn. Taker made it to the squared circle only for Bearer to turn his back on him. After 5 years of ghoulish partnership, Bearer cracked Taker with the urn in truly shocking betrayal. Number 8, treasonous slaughter. It's one thing to betray a person, but it's another to betray an entire country. That's professional dickbaggery right there. In the 80s, a number of superstars made their name by wedding themselves to the red, white, and blue. Back in WWF's golden years, there was more flag waving than at a Macy's Day Parade, by the likes of Jim Duggan, Hulk Hogan, and most especially Sergeant Slaughter, a man who was prepared to be parachuted into an enemy war zone armed only with his gigantic chin. He was all about the US&A until the early 90s, when to shock and awe of countless WWF fans, Slaughter turned his back on the country he loved so much and allied with Saddam Hussein. Yes, it was the height of the Gulf War, and in order to get that sweet rage dollar, Vince turned Slaughter into an Iraqi sympathizer. Like, looking at that today, we'd probably think, that's a bit tasteless, but I get what they're doing. Perhaps people were a bit stupider in the 90s because some folk lost their damn minds over this betrayal of America. Slaughter received death threats, had to travel around in a bulletproof vest, and bomb threats were even called into arenas where WWF would be producing shows. Number 7. Halt Evolution. Triple H is the Da Vinci of betrayals. There's just so many, and they're all so varied. Whether it's attacking his Bezzy Shawn Michaels, attacking his Bezzy X-Pac, or attacking his Bezzy Ric Flair, get close to Trips and he'll eventually find a way to have you killed. He's turned heel on Daniel Bryan, on Steve Austin, on Seth Rollins. At what point do we stag the intervention? You may personally prefer either of the DX implosions, but for our money, the best Triple H betrayal is Randy Orton. It may not have led to a great babyface run from Randall, who was just too good at being a total arsehole, but as moments, it's brilliantly iconic. Orton had just won the World Heavyweight Championship from Chris Benoit at SummerSlam 2004, becoming the youngest world champion in WWE history in the process. Triple H, who had been trying to get the big gold belt back ever since he lost it at WrestleMania, was like, hey, cool, hey, well done, buddy, like, proud of you, way to go. Evolution threw Randy a little celebration on Raw, which ended with Orton on top of Batista's shoulder, like a little boy being carried by his dad at the zoo. Triple H gave Orton the thumbs up, which then turned into a thumbs down, before Batista planted Orton to the mat. For a year and a half, Orton had been bonded to Triple H like a son, and in one act of petty jealousy, was cast down, beaten, and left broken. The perfect backstab. Number 6. Broken Hearts. Owen Hart is sorely missed. He was one of the most gifted technicians in WWE during the 90s, and from all accounts, one of the most beloved guys backstage, famous for his unique pranks. He was also part of one of the best rivalries of the 90s, the slow burn destruction of the Hart family. It was a masterclass of slow-build WWF storytelling. Bret and Owen were both supremely gifted athletes, but by 1993 it was clear that Bret had pulled out ahead. He was a former WWF champion and multiple-time Intercontinental champion, and Owen was not. At Survivor Series 1993, things came to a momentary boil when Bret and Owen collided during an elimination tag match, causing Owen to be the only person eliminated on his team. Though he and Bret had heated words, things calmed down and the brothers made amends. Months later at the Royal Rumble, Bret and Owen lost a tag team championship match thanks to an injury to Bret's knee. Furious with his brother for costing him, Owen kicked Bret's leg out of his leg, officially turning on his brother, leading to one of the best Mania matches of all time, where Owen would finally prove his dominance over Bret. Watching brothers turning on each other was still shocking back in the 90s, and the betrayal was made all the more satisfying for the slow, organic, creeping build. Number 5. Kevin Owens kills friendship again. Dude, what is wrong with you? At this point, Big Kev is a psychotherapist's wet dream. So, Kevin, you seem to have pointlessly destroyed another of your close personal friendships using a back-breaking powerbomb. Tell me about your relationship with your father. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens were the best of friends for 6 months, with a number of shared interests like running away, being a bit of a dick, and Canada. Because both men are very funny, creative people, their friendship actually became emotionally affecting and nuanced over those 6 months. They were legitimately cute together, which made their inevitable implosion all that more soul-destroying. The Festival of Friendship, Chris Jericho's desperate attempt to jumpstart their friendship, like a man frantically suggesting renewing vows while his wife packs a suitcase, was the best Raw segment of 2017, bar absolutely none. It started off hilarious, with Jericho unveiling a multitude of no homebro art, then Gilbert appeared, there was a goddamn clown called Friendship, but the segment slowly turned earnest and heartfelt as Jericho poured out his heart to Kevin, describing how their friendship has made the last year the best of his career. And then, of course, betrayal. As he always does, Owens attacked Jericho, powerbombing him and smashing him through a glass sign. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly, Kevin Owens gotta betray his best friend. Number 4, destroy it yourself. 2017 began with the implosion of Team Chris and Kevin, and after the dust and glass and scarves settled, no one thought it could have been topped. However, a mere 4 months later, it was, when Tommaso Ciampa turned on Johnny Gargano, breaking up DIY, possibly the most beloved team in the history of NXT. You could argue that Jericho's breakup was more entertaining, but the death of DIY was more vicious, more crushing, and more, well, sad. There had been signs of discord in the past, most notably after their amazing match at the Cruiserweight Classic the year before, but they had remained tight, putting on some of the best tag matches of the year against the Revival and the Authors of Pain. However, after losing to the AOP at TakeOver Chicago, that was all Ciampa could stand, he couldn't stand no more, and he brutalized Gargano. There were no clowns and fireworks for this one, just pain. As Ciampa slammed his partner against the LED screen, he repeatedly kneed him in the face and delivered white noise through a table, all with a glassy, psychotic look in his eye. The emotion was real to me, damn it. Number 3, the poison of the rattlesnake. 2001 was the year of the backstab for Stone Cold Steve Austin, who managed not 1, not 3, but 2 high-profile betrayals of the WWE fanbase that year. The first took place at WrestleMania 17, with Austin stunning the world by sharing a beer with Vince McMahon, aka the Devil himself, brutalizing The Rock and turning his back on his hometown Texas crowd. It's one of the most shocking betrayals in wrestling history, nearly killing poor JR at ringside. However, perhaps even crueler as the invasion heated up a few months later, with then WWF under siege from the Alliance, the old Stone Cold briefly returned to a thunderous ovation. He turned face and stunned every poor SOB in the Alliance, promising to lead WWF to victory at the Invasion pay-per-view. What happened then? The asshole betrayed the fans again, turning his back on the whole company and siding with the Alliance. Please, Steve, please, my heart can't take this constant pain. Number 2, Barbershop Blues. You thought this was going to be number 1, didn't you? Well, suck a dick, everyone. It's only the second best betrayal of all time, but historically it's one of the most important. Finally setting Shawn Michaels free to become one of the best of all time inside Brutus Beefcake's Barbershop. After much tension, the Rockers seemed to reunite, stronger than ever, before Michaels clocked Jannetty with a super kick, and in one of the most infamous acts of violence in wrestling history, sent his former buddy careening through a window pane. Brilliant not only for its superb shock value, but also as a springboard for the career that Shawn Michaels would go on to have, one of the best of all time. In terms of tag team breakups, this is the blueprint. Number 1, the Architect of Destruction. Seth Rollins selling out, detonating the Shield, and buying into the Authority was absolutely beautiful from start to finish. The Shield had been threatening to break up for months, with heated confrontations before the Royal Rumble and at Elimination Chamber, but in an act of top misdirection, the disagreement seemed to sit between Ambrose and Reigns. Everyone thought that Dean Ambrose would be the man to turn heel, but to everyone's surprise, the Shield pulled through, reuniting strong enough to batter Evolution at back-to-back pay-per-views. At the absolute pinnacle of their powers, after soundly beating one of the greatest stables of all time, suddenly Triple H initiated Plan B, and the turn that no one saw coming. Perhaps we felt it more because we watched it live as opposed to the Rockers breakup, but damn it, this one hurt. This one hurt real bad. And that's our list. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and you can follow me on Twitter here. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.